Hello, anybody watching? My name is Dylan and I like to build houses in The Sims 4. Today I am coming at you with something a little bit different on my channel. This is the first and probably only time you'll see me editing one of my previous builds and uploading the footage to YouTube and making a video out of it. So this is a remodel of a house I did about a month ago, 4351 Wisteria Lane. And the reason that I wanted to go through and remodel it was because in that video I said that the house was not all that accurate. It didn't really fit what was suggested in the TV show. It didn't really fit the Applewhite aesthetic or Bob and Lee's aesthetic. I just kind of went through and built it how I wanted to build it, and I still stand by that. I still think the old house was super cute and super livable and definitely a house worth downloading if you're looking for it on the gallery, but it really just did not fit the TV show. It didn't look correct, it wasn't correct, and so I wanted to go through and make this house just a little bit more accurate, and this is what I came up with. So the shape of the house is still the same, so it's still a little bit on the bigger side compared to what is suggested in the TV show, but some of the interior furnishings have changed, and as has the floor plan, at least a little bit. So it's still not completely accurate, but it's like just a little bit more accurate. If you know the TV show, you'll see that this version of this house just looks a little bit more correct. I did end up finding a couple of pictures and a video or two of this house, and so I went off of that and I found some furniture using some of the packs here that just kind of represented the house a little bit better. And actually, I think this version is even cuter than the first one. Like I said, I still stand by the first one. You can still find it on my gallery, but I think this one just looks a little bit better. It's just a better house to live in, I think. One of the things that I learned as I went through this house to remodel it is that 4351 apparently is an actual house on Wisteria Lane or Colonial Street or Main Street, whatever the set is called in Hollywood. I didn't realize that this house had a usable first floor. A lot of the houses on Wisteria Lane in the TV show are filmed on sound stages, meaning that the exterior shell of the house is just that. It's an exterior shell. There is no interior. A lot of the houses are like that, but 4351 is not. For some reason I was under the impression that it was, but I found a video on YouTube with the actor who plays Bob of the Bob and Lee couple going through the house and just doing a really quick tour. It's a really quick video. It's like 10 years old at this point, if not older. But that's how I found out that this house is an actual house. At least the first floor is something that you can go in. And for some reason, that surprised me. But that video really helped me figure out what some of the interior furnishings were actually supposed to look like. In the original video of 4351, I believe I said that I didn't really care that I wasn't making it all that accurate, but I watched that video and I realized, wow, not only did I not get it accurate, I really did not get it accurate. The only thing I got somewhat correct was sorta kinda the placement of the kitchen, and so I wanted to go back and just kind of fix things up a little bit, and I really like how this turned out. Like I said, I did keep the shape of the house the same to the old version, so it's still a little bit on the bigger side. I think the actual house is a little bit smaller. This house still has 4 bedrooms and 2.5 bathrooms, but I just like the way that it looks. I don't think there is supposed to be that dining room on the right of the kitchen, but I did leave it in just because Sims always need space. When you're building a real-life house into Sims 4, I always try to make sure that Sims have enough space, so I don't really have much of a problem adding a couple new rooms or making rooms a little bit bigger. You know, you do want the house to look accurate, but you also want it to be playable. At least that's my mindset. I remember, especially in Sims 3, I would see videos of people who were building, really famous sets of famous houses. They would build it in Sims 3 and they would look great, but they would fill it with a lot of like custom content and things that just make the house like super, super cluttered and sort of kind of almost unplayable. And I get what they were going for. They wanted to make the house like as accurate as possible, so I get it. But when I build houses that are based on, you know, there's some sort of reference for them, I take into consideration the actual playability of the house as well. So with that, I don't really have much of a problem adding a couple new things if it makes the house more livable for your Sims. So I hope you don't mind that. I still think the house looks fine. And I think even with most of the changes being simple cosmetic changes, I think it really did make quite a bit of difference in regards to this house. It looks much more livable, much more like people would actually want to walk in. I used that really gray, kind of cold flooring before, and I livened it up a little bit and used this nice warmer brown color, and I used that throughout the rest of the house, and I just really, really like the way that it turned out. And if you like the way that it turned out, you can find this house on my gallery along with the rest of my Wisteria Lane houses. I did leave the old version of this house up on my gallery as well, so if you like the old version better or you just want to download it and have it, you can find that one too. But you can also find this newer, better version as well. I went through my gallery a couple of weeks ago and deleted almost all of my older Wisteria Lane houses from a couple of years ago just because I didn't like the way that they looked anymore. I don't think they aged very well, and I was sick of people downloading them and commenting on them because they just didn't look good to me anymore, so I removed them. A couple of weeks ago though, I also went through the Wisteria Lane houses that I had uploaded to YouTube. I went through those, re-downloaded them again, made some minor cosmetic changes, and re-uploaded those to my gallery. So if you want to go to my gallery, you can find newer versions of all of the Wisteria Lane houses that I've done and put on YouTube. They're for the most part the same, but a couple of updates have come out since building, like 4353, which is Susan's house, or 4355, or Lynette's house, or Catherine's house. A couple of updates have come out since I built all of those houses, and so I wanted to take advantage of that. So you're not really missing out if you don't download my brand new houses, but there are a couple of subtle changes to each and every Wisteria Lane house, and so I went in and I downloaded them to my own game and then I re-uploaded them again. So if you see a couple of versions of each Wisteria Lane house from me, just know that is purposeful. I wanted to take advantage of the new updates, so just keep that in mind. We are going to be coming up to the screenshots soon where I compare the old house to the new house, so I will say here, if you like what you see, do feel free to subscribe to my channel. I would love it if you would subscribe, but I will still love you even if you don't. I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.